Hi, thank you for your question. For those who are new, my name is MJ. I have HSV2, which is genital herpes, and I do videos on them to raise awareness, which lowers the stigma, which lowers infection rates. So in terms of triggering outbreaks, you know what I mean? HSV1 and HSV2 do have a lot of common triggers, like hormonal changes, exhaustion, psychological stress. If you have an infection, if you have a respiratory infection, that can heighten your chances of having an outbreak. But HSV1 is obviously mostly associated with oral herpes, although it can be transmitted to the genitals and it can be considered genital herpes. The way HSV can be triggered is so fascinating to me, honestly, because when I had my first outbreak, I was in shock and dumbfounded because I had been abstinent for years. It was why now? Why am I having it now? But the general consensus, amongst physicians I saw at the time was that, I had just started my transition, I was on testosterone, and the hormonal shift is likely what triggered my first outbreak. But it's just wild that I went that long not even knowing that I had it. I mean, and who knows how long I had it before then. I actually reached out to all of my previous partners that I potentially could have infected and just to let them know hey, I got diagnosed with this, it's a possibility that I could have transmitted it to you. Fortunately, all of them got back to me and said that they were tested, that they were fine. But it's wild that you can go that long and not even know that you have it. Statistics show that up to 90% of people who have HSV2 don't even know that they have it because they're asymptomatic, or maybe the symptoms are so mild that they don't even notice them. I got that statistic from the American Sexual Health Association, which it's really shocking because I think last time I looked it up, it was in the 70s or 80s. Across America, 1 out of 6 people are diagnosed with HSV2. So imagine if 90% don't even know that they have it, they're not going to be diagnosed, so the number is way more than that in reality. When it comes to HSV1, I believe it's something 60%, don't quote me, it's over half. But it's so interesting to me how you can go years and then something like a stressful event can cause an outbreak and boom, you realize you have HSV, 1 or 2. I mean, both can lay dormant for so long, potentially even forever. Some people never know that they have it, unless they specifically get tested for it, of course. But it's wild to me that, you can just go, your whole life not even realizing you have it, and then maybe you get the flu, or you have a very traumatic event happen, and then, whoop, there you go. You noticed you got HSV. That's why I always stress how important it is to get tested regularly and specifically request getting tested for HSV1 and HSV2. Because not all STD panels include it, so it's very important to request it. Obviously, I'm not talking, everybody should get tested, but I'm just talking in general. But yeah, HSV1 and HSV2 both have very similar triggers, almost down to a T. I think even I saw that heightened sun exposure can cause an outbreak. But yeah, a lot of people are always asking me what's the difference between HSV1 and HSV2? The main difference is that HSV1 primarily in most cases is oral herpes, but it can transmit to the genitals. It can be considered genital herpes. But HSV2 is genital herpes. So that's the difference between the two, but the triggers pretty much the same.